video is brought to you by Squarespace. Need a website and don't know how? Make it with Squarespace. Hello, it is me, Kasey, here to share with you my latest obsession and discovery, printmaking with Lego dots. Lego dots are like a subgenre of Lego, and they're used for like pixel art, flat things. Let me show you. This set in particular is the lettering set, which I absolutely love. It comes with everything you need to make an alphabet of letters, and inside they give you several different fonts you can make with using these little dots, and I absolutely love these letters. I have another dot set that also comes with other ideas. But before we get creative, I want to organize all of these pieces because there are a lot of pieces. Now I'm going to be focusing on using these pieces as a print press. So it doesn't actually matter what color pieces I use because I'll be using ink to transfer the prints. However, as an artist, I can't help myself but group colors together and make it look pretty. I just happen to have this organization tool I was using for some other art stuff that I didn't need anymore. I also went through all of my other Lego pieces that I just have, and I had some other pieces that would go perfectly. They're the same height. We have some longer pieces, square pieces, bigger circle pieces, and one single heart. I don't know if we'll have a use for it. We'll see. So I want to start off simple so that I can get a feel for how this works because I've never done this before. I also want to get a feel for my printmaking supplies and ink because I have not done printmaking since I was in college, which was, look, it was many years ago. I want to do 3 primary colored worms that overlap each other, which means 3 different prints on one piece of paper. Let's make some windy worms. Why not? I don't know why this shape in particular is so few in these sets, but the ends of my worms, thankfully I have plenty of them. I don't know why there's so few of them though. It's so weird. I'm just gonna have our worm winding through the page here. Wait, I'm going to, oh, we need to use our tool. It came with this little key that I think is meant for removing these pieces. Oh gosh. Okay, hold on. I have to shift everything up. Hold on. Oh! To be honest, I don't know why I was avoiding the edge. Anyway, I think it's just instinct. As an artist, you know, you don't want to be making art right up against the page, but these are going to be prints, so I can make the page bigger than the space we're working with. It was just instinct, okay? I saw the edge, I avoided it. So I've got my first worm, and now it's time to create our other worm that will be layered on top of this worm. So I want to keep in mind the space that this worm takes up and where this worm will interact and take up space. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to start on the edge of the page this time. I'm really going to be limited to what Lego pieces I have, which is very interesting. I'm not used to being so limited in like what I can create. Okay. We've got our 2 different worms. Now it's time for a third worm. The single pieces scare me because you have to make sure that they are lined up correctly, which is a little difficult to do. Okay, what's this looking like so far? Any opinions? I don't know what's happening. Okay, we have our 3 worms, which will be 3 different colors printed on top of each other. How will that look? I don't know. Let's find out. So I thought this was sort of clever. I put our print piece on another piece, and then I put some Legos so that I could easily line up the paper every time. Is that clever? I feel like that could really work really well. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Oh my God, I'm scared. Okay, first time. Let's apply our ink to our worm. So then I put my page down and then roll it. The reveal. I mean, it's got texture and personality. We can try a couple more times. Okay, second attempt. Okay, it's about the same, but again, isn't it textured? Let's keep an open mind, yeah? Is it me? Maybe. Is it the Legos? Maybe. I mean, they certainly weren't created for printmaking, were they? Should I use my hands? Let's get my hands in there. Third attempt. Okay, is it perfect? No, but I'm going to continue with our other colors just to see what effects we can end up with, and I will do some more testing from there. I guess I should mention the cleaning process. Basically, as soon as I'm done printing, I rinse them off, pop the pieces off into a bowl of warm soapy water, and the ink comes right off. Now there is some staining if the ink sits on there for a few minutes, but I don't see myself using these Legos as anything other than printing tools at this point. So honestly, if they stain, that's fine. So here are the final results for my prints. Honestly, I don't think they're super bad. They didn't turn out super great. So I'm going to continue my testing, try some new things out, do some illustrations, play around with these a little bit more, and see what we can come up with. But before we get creative, I want to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. Without Squarespace, I wouldn't have a website. Why? Because I don't know how to make a website, and Squarespace does all of the work for me with their flexible website templates. Choose from one of their many professionally designed website templates, customize it, update your content, add all the features you want, and you have yourself a website. With Fluid Engine, a next-generation website design system from Squarespace, it's never been easier for anyone to unlock their unbreakable creativity. It's true. And the most important part, you can make your own online shop. Whether you're selling physical, digital, or service products, Squarespace has the tools you need to start selling online. So what are you waiting for? Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/KaseyGolden to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Let's get to printing. I am excited. So like I had mentioned before, I really liked the lettering that they had examples of in the box, so I wanted to make some sort of word art, and I'm gonna be honest, I absolutely love the look of these winding, wiggly little worms all over the page. I love to draw worms, and what do you know, they translate really well into this Lego print. I just think they're so fun, winding all over. I think they're super cute, and in fact, I don't even think I put them tight enough. I think if I had more pieces, because I only have so many long pieces, I probably would have packed them a little bit tighter, but I knew it was going to come down to just single little squares, and I didn't feel like making a bunch of worms with squares, and I think they looked a lot better with long pieces as well. So I don't know, something to think about. Maybe I should have worked smaller. I wanted to play around with the ink layering on top of each other, but looking at the piece now, I kind of feel like I had the worms wiggling around the words, maybe sneaking in between. It definitely would have made the piece a lot more legible. It's kind of hard to read, but maybe that's kind of fun. Little wiggly worms hiding a message. That's also a style I do in my art. Getting to know the art supplies was definitely the goal of this video, and I definitely felt like I got to know how to work with it a lot better. I made a lot of mistakes, and I've learned a lot. And some of you might be thinking already, Kasey, what are you doing? I can already see a huge mistake coming up. And you know what? You're absolutely right. I did not mirror the words, so when I printed them, they're backwards. It is crazy because every single day leading up to me filming this video, I kept telling myself, now Kasey, when you make these prints, they are going to be mirrored, so you need to make the words backwards. But once I got into creating this art, I was just so excited putting the things together, and I didn't even think about it until I saw the reveal. So I had to remake my words, which, I mean, obviously was kind of a bummer, but lesson learned. Will I be doing that again? Probably. But like I said, I learned a lot with this first test piece. I think my biggest learn was that I need to work smaller until I get very confident with this art supply. So I do think this was a successful piece, but I definitely wanted to focus working smaller and more simple. Okay, with the letter art out of my system, which really reminded me of my printmaking course in college, it was fun to mess around with, but I want to get back to what I really love, and that is my illustration side. This time I really wanted to focus on the negative space with these Lego pieces, and I noticed that the curved corner pieces, if you put them together, you can create these little star shapes, and you guys know I absolutely love making space illustrations, so I thought it would be really cool to cover this whole piece in Lego pieces and create some negative space space stars throughout the sky. And on top of the sky, I would print another worm. I am sorry. You know what? I'm not sorry. I just love the way these winding, curvy, long worms look in Lego. They just translate so well, especially when it comes to this abstract yet illustrative sort of style. They just look so good. And I love worms, and it's a perfect translation, and I love it. I'm doing more worms and you can't stop me. One of the most charming things about using these Lego pieces as a printmaking tool is just the texture of the pieces and not being able to get a completely flat chunk of color. Obviously, that is something that my art is really all about, really simple flats of color, but it was really fun to play around with the shapes that are used to create these pieces. So as you can see with the sky, usually you would think of a nice blank solid color, but you can see each individual Lego piece that I used for it, and I think that's so cool. It adds texture, it reminds you what the piece is made out of, freaking Legos, which is not an art supply. And look at that, there's a worm in space flying through the starry sky. Wow, art. I like this piece. I was definitely getting more comfortable with working with the ink and the printmaking. And as much as I did enjoy the word art piece that I created, I think this was definitely going more in a direction that personally I like to create with my art. That being said, we need to go smaller and we need little character creatures. Sorry, worms, it is time to move on to different creepy crawlies. The art I enjoy creating the most is small, simple, shapely, exaggerated, cute, silly, fun art. I'm also a sucker for art that comes in little sets. Say there's a character with different variants. I like stuff like that. So because I wanted to work smaller and feel more comfortable with this art supply, I thought it would be really cute to design 6 different super tiny bugs using these limited pieces, playing around with bigger chunks, creating texture with longer pieces. Some of them have pincers, trying to use these very simple shapes and limited art supply to the best of my ability and create things that look like other things. Using the long curvy pieces for both their legs and antennas. I also used the round corner pieces for pincers. I was really thankful at this point to have those large square blocks because it really helped create these flat, wide backs of some of these beetle looking characters. Using the smaller square textures when I wanted to create more texture on the bugs. These little guys are super adorable. I absolutely love how they turned out. They look super cute all together in a set, and they were a lot of fun to make. I don't know what I would use this printmaking style for. They look like something that could definitely be a lot of fun for like greeting cards or just fun print sets to sell in my shop as maybe limited edition prints. But I was definitely feeling the most comfortable at this point. I don't know if it's just because I was getting used to the art supplies. Like I mentioned, I have done printmaking in the past, but that was in college many years ago. Having to relearn how to work with the ink was a challenge, but I've learned the less ink, the better for sure. Working in this more illustrative style and exaggerating shapes is where I have the most fun. So these little guys, they turned out super cute. I would say my most successful pieces, and I am going to be playing around with these Lego pieces to create more prints because this was a lot of fun. And if you have Legos at home, I would definitely recommend you trying them out. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Make yourself a website. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye.